Hello, everybody, and welcome to Literally Headline.
Hey.
Hello.
We're here today with our friend Connor, a.k.a. the Orangutan.
What's up?
You might recognize him from the second episode where we did a call-in with him.
Yes, it was very fun, and I'm glad that you guys brought me back.
We just loved his personality so much.
Yeah,
we
everybody
decided
says
to bring
that.
him back.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling today? You excited to be here on the show?
I am. I'm just a little nervous, but overall, I'm really excited.
All right, well, we're just going to jump right in. Okay, so this first article is brought to us by NPR, and this one is about science, and
Science.
I
Love
love
it.
science. So
Favorite topic.
a man named, Mad Mike Hughes built his own homemade rocket and shot off into the sky 1,800 feet into the air.
What?
It's a part of his plan to prove that the Earth is flat.
Oh, okay.
Did
Did it work?
yeah.
He didn't.
Is
I
Earth
mean,
flat?
he didn't get very far, but he didn't die.
Wait, he was in the rocket?
Yeah, no. He created his own rocket and he shot off into. He's 61 years old. I think I should point that out.
What a man.
How did he not die?
He's just for science.
Miracle.
Miracle. But he thinks the Earth is shaped like a frisbee and says after extensive research, he believes this.
Does it have the grooves that Frisbees have, Are those the mountains?
Yeah, probably.
Those are the mountains,
That's what
yeah.
the mountains are on the sides.
How would he fit in a rocket?
He
how
built
can
it
you-
It's a
himself.
rocket.
He
Yeah, but,
created
like-
it himself.
It's not like it's a tiny toy train.
Like making
It's
Boy
make it
Scouts.
big. Like, those things are huge.
He fit in it. This is the second time he's done this too. Like,
This is the second time?
yeah, on his quest to go into space to figure out if the Earth is actually flat.
I feel like this is the kind of guy that would be like, oh, jumping off Niagara Falls would be cool.
Yeah,
But he survived somehow. So.
Yeah, he survived.
yeah. He says that going up into the rocket it's like risky. There's like 10 different ways that you can be killed, but
Only 10.
that's the maximum amount of numbers.
he didn't want to chicken out, so he decided to man up and do it.
My friends are going to bully me if I don't do this.
Oh my gosh.
So
Don't give in to peer pressure, folks.
The ultimate form of the word bet.
he also afterwards he went home to have dinner with his cats. So
Dinner
He only has cats.
yeah, that's a quote from him.
Oh, man.
Honestly, I think the Earth is flat. So
You think the Earth is flat?
I believe him. I support.
I personally believe that the Earth is a globe.
I think it's a
But
cube.
I think it's a cube. But I know that, like people saying that the Earth is a globe is, an unpopular opinion nowadays. So
You're stupid. All right, Sebastian,
I did
what's
not
our
come
next
here for
article?
this.
All right, so I was looking the other day, and it was kind of crazy because we hear everything about these self-driving cars. And I have this article from the New York Times that talks about how Uber is being forced to take off their self-driving cars from Arizona roads because a car actually killed a pedestrian the other day.
Oh,
wow.
man. Oh, yeah. That's
Like-
no bueno.
Yeah, that's no bueno. But that's kind of crazy now that we are getting so far into technology, but now we're having to sidetrack because
Yeah.
of glitches and mistakes.
Yeah, even I forgot what I was going to say.
And the scarier thing is that there was somebody riding in the car too.
Oh, so,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No
So
way.
I actually heard about one that someone was driving in a self-driving car and it was going and there was like a truck that was like turning in front of him and like the car didn't see it and he got like
We
decapitated.
went straight into
Are we
it.
sure?
Yeah.
He decapitated?
Yeah, he got decapitated.
What?
Are we sure these are self-driving cars or just really bad drivers who try to play it off? Like,
Probably a little bit of
They're like,
both.
it was that guy. it was that guy. What guy? It was him. It's okay. He left.
he left. It was all right.
I actually took driving school, which is terrible. As bad as it sounds, it's awful. But the instructor said that kids born today, it's like likely that they'll never have to learn how to drive because of self-driving cars,
No way.
which is interesting.
But driving's so much fun. Like I just
Driving
recently got
is
my
fun.
license.
Okay, that's what you say, but I don't find driving very fun. It's very stressful for me.
It's not stressful. It's fun.
But this is like Audrey we're talking about. Like
Audrey's like, I know everything history, but I can't drive a car.
Is
that it?
I can't be great at everything.
Oh, yeah.
sounds like you're not
My
trying hard
one
enough.
fault.
Well, apparently with this, They're going to be taken off the Arizona roads, and once the license ends next week, they'll have to cut them from California roads also.
Oh, snap. Well, I wonder how many deaths have happened from self-driving cars compared to like actual people driving them.
I'm sure it's a very different number.
Yeah.
A lot more
Yeah.
people driving cars than people with self-driving cars because it hasn't been too long.
Yeah.
You know, people are not perfect, and this brings us into our next article,
Okay.
which is brought to us by Fox News. Along with the Uber driving, an Uber driver takes a wrong turn and drives his Uber car down the stairs. And he says it's the app's navigation's fault. So,
Was it like, turn down this way, go, go, go?
I think he just took the wrong turn, you know? He just, like, is said to go that way, and so he
Oh,
turned,
no.
and it went down some stairs, and I think this was funny.
That would be so embarrassing.
Yeah, and a tow truck tried to, like, pull it out off the stairs, but the cord snapped, and the car went down and ran into a trash can, one of the city trash cans,
No.
and the bolts in the trash can fell, and, like, all the bolts came out.
Oh no! All the trash came out.
The trash can.
That was their biggest
But,
concern.
like, how do you do that?
Oh,
This,
How do you turn downstairs?
I thought this was so
I don't
funny.
know. How do you do it?
Because, do you guys remember have you ever seen The Office?
Yes, I was
Do
going
you
to say
Do
that.
you know that episode where Michael drives his car into the lake?
Well, the GPS
What?
says it's got to be right.
It's like, no, that's the lake. That's the lake.
Can't go that way.
It's just flooded a little bit. We're fine.
Like,
There's a road there, I promise. But you just can't see it.
his name was Fred. That's all this says. His name was Fred.
I
And
think
he
that's where we
just-
can stop then.
I think
Like,
that's-
his name was Fred. Like,
He took the wrong turn.
Fred took the wrong turn, and nobody
Yeah.
saw him again.
He's still, some say, he's still stuck on those stairs to this day.
Yeah. I guess he probably just didn't have a very good navigation app. You know?
Well, I mean, doesn't Uber have like a navigation app?
Yeah, I think it's their own.
So maybe it's Uber's fault.
He needs to use Waves.
Yeah, Waves. Waves.
Waves. It scares me. It's like there's a pothole up ahead, and you're like, how do you know that?
Do you see me?
Where are you?
They're watching me. I'm in the Truman Show. No.
The Truman Show.
Okay.
So
Connor has a story for us.
I do, and it's a story from NBC News, and it's about a traffic stop in Spain. And when the police pulled over the suspects, they found 8,000 pounds of stolen oranges.
What?
8,000 pounds.
Wait,
how
in
do
his
you
car?
steal 8,000
No,
pounds.
yeah, in his car. But the best thing about this is that they had 4 vehicles. So there was 8,000 pounds split among 4 vehicles.
Oh my God.
So they pulled all 4
They're
over.
like, we're smuggling these oranges today, boys.
It was in Spain. I don't know where they're taking the oranges, but
This was well thought out.
that's why it was like,
This is like they're trying to rob a bank, but they're like, no. We got to get these oranges. That's what we need.
This is the new currency.
This is the new currency, Catalonia currency, oranges.
Oranges.
I think it was actually now that I was doing a little bit more research, I think it was actually a big heist for the I think it was
Orange heist.
I think it was an
Big
orange heist. I think it was an orange heist for the big orange juice company, Tropicana.
Tropicana.
I think they stole the oranges. That's what I think was happening. They're trying to get
That's
some free
low.
oranges.
That's low Tropicana.
Classic.
Come on.
Come
I
on,
love
guys.
Orange. I love orange
No,
juice.
but this,
Nerd, apple juice is where it's at.
That's wrong. It's orange juice.
Actually, cranberry juice, guys.
well, this reminds me of a
Ew.
time. So my family's from Colombia, so every once in a while I'll go there. And the markets, it's all big and spread out, and there's a bunch of fruit stands. And I remember this guy stole one orange, just one single orange. This guy had 8,000 pounds. Literally, the cops chased him until they caught him.
They chased him for an orange.
while he was like running away from the cops, I looked down because this is like a few story buildings, but it's like everything's open, kind of like a parking garage.
Yeah.
And you just see this guy running behind a truck filled with pigs in the back.
Oh,
This is just a really, in America, it would be very sketchy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy is stealing one orange, so I cannot imagine 8,000
Well,
pounds.
my only question about this
Call
whole
the
article.
SWAT team.
yes, this guy has him big. Get him over here.
My only question is, where did they find the oranges? Where do you get 8,000 pounds of them?
How do you steal 8,000 pounds of oranges?
You know,
One at a time.
I like
put in
to-
the shirts. Put in the shirts.
I like
From
to
the
imagine.
market?
I like to imagine them carrying them out in big old like armfuls, and they're dropping them, and they're trying
Everywhere.
trying to hold them all up. It's like, nah.
They have those like fruit baskets like on their heads, like balancing the oranges.
Originally, there was like 9,000 pounds, but they lost 1,000 while they were loading the cars up.
That's hilarious. Wow.
I think it's one of the funniest things I've read in a long time.
Okay, so on the topic of criminals, each week we like to do something about a different criminal mastermind that
Hate
is
criminals.
out there. I know criminals are getting smarter and smarter like every day, and
know.
it's just kind of scary. So this next one is it's kind of scary. So recently there has been a wanted poster put up for Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh, I hate that guy.
He is the worst.
tricked
They're
us.
finally trying to get him.
I know
I'm glad.
he's been accused of deception. He said that there was only going to be 6 more weeks of winter in Pennsylvania, but that week ended and there was snow.
Wow.
He was lying.
Wow.
And he's been doing this for years, and I'm glad
I'm over
that
it.
finally they're doing something about it.
That's a two life sentence right there.
I know. Officer Scott Martin put up a poster on the wanted wall because he is sick of snow in the spring. And I agree with him. It's
too
time to
cold.
end this.
This is shorts weather, and I'm wearing khakis.
Yeah, I should be
Hey, I'm also wearing
wearing, shorts, a tank
Twins-
top.
Twinsies.
This is kind of unacceptable. He's been wrong about 103 times.
Oh no, Phil!
I think I don't
We
know
just
if they're
saw a
gonna-
picture of the wanted poster, and it's scary to look at.
It is. It's chilling.
His
Like,
beady eyes.
He's just staring into you, and he's like, "Guess what? I got you this time."
LOL.
LOL.
Stupid humans don't listen.
You thought it was Groundhog's Day, but it's actually April Fool's.
So the second part to this article is that the Pennsylvania police has actually asked us to volunteer to go dig up every
Groundhog.
acre of land they have so we can find him.
It's gonna take some time and effort, but
It'll get done.
anything to make this country and this place better for our children and the lives of everyone.
Yeah.
We cannot have liars like this in our lives anymore.
I'm
It's
sick
time.
of it.
It's
Yes.
time. It's time to end this.
Come on, Phil.
Okay, so now to get into a more serious topic. Recently this weekend, or last weekend, I don't know how to count days, but on Saturday sometime there was the March for Our Lives movement that was going on, and this was just like really cool and like really big.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was more than nationwide too. Wasn't it like international?
it was global. Yes, I
Yeah.
got this article from CNN, and it shows signs of the march happening in like London, Madrid, Tokyo, and Rome, and Paris, and all these places.
We're over it.
And they're all saying that, like, I think this is cool that they're like, they see what's going on in America and they're standing with the students and people that are being harmed by this, which
Yeah.
is cool because I didn't think other countries liked America very much.
Now they're on our
But I don't think they like America. I think they like the children, though.
Yeah,
I think it's,
they-
Maybe
don't
they
like
like
what's
the
going
change that we want.
Yeah.
What we're striving for is something that they can agree on.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually I was in New York at the time of the march, and I participated in it. Not for very long, but just for about 30 minutes. And I know if you've ever been to New York, you know there's like street vendors everywhere.
Yeah.
Selling like gyros and kebabs and stuff like that. And a lot of the vendors along the place where people were walking, they would just hand out free food because they agreed with it too.
So the March for Our Lives, if you don't know, is about gun control.
Yeah.
As a result of all the different school shootings that have been happening.
Yeah.
People are fighting for winning more gun control
Well,
laws.
and in some bad neighborhoods, this speech by Edna Sanchez, this is a teenage girl. She's 17 years old from South LA. And her speech was so touching to me because one of her lines said, "I learned to duck bullets before I learned to read."
Oh, yeah.
That is
That's-
so powerful because especially in our day and age, because we understand that this is the change that we're striving for, but she went through this firsthand because her brother was shot and killed in South LA as a teenager.
Yeah.
And she got to speak in Washington in front of that entire crowd on the Capitol.
That's amazing.
And I think that's just so cool that she went up there, had all that courage to go speak about what she believed in, which was gun control in America, to get these guns out of schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, to this day, it still astonishes me how like involved our age group is with political issues, with economic issues. It's just amazing to me because it takes a lot of courage to be able to speak about these kind of political beliefs, especially when you have a bunch of people from older generations criticizing us for it.
Yeah.
And it's just,
I mean, a bunch of high school students are already insecure about everything.
exactly.
And they're just, going up there and speaking their minds and saying what they think is right and what they think is wrong.
And I think that's really awesome because we're over it. Like, we don't want this anymore, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, why can't they keep us safe from this?
Yeah, and I mean, it was amazing being at the march in New York because I got that feeling of safety. Like it was just a bunch of people there together. We're not worried about what the consequences are. We're not worried about what's going on because we're fighting for something we believe in. And it was just a very good and positive environment. And yeah, of course, there were some people along the way who would like yell, profanities at us and stuff like that. But I mean, it's all ultimately a positive message, and everyone was very positive about it.
That's really awful that they would yell at you all for standing up in something that maybe could save their kids' lives someday.
Exactly, and it doesn't make any sense to me because I don't like that they get onto other people for a different opinion.
Yeah.
They don't want to have a conversation. They just want to yell at you. And
they don't have enough courage to get in your face and talk to you about it.
Yeah, it's okay to have different opinions.
Exactly. Even about such a social issue, it's okay. You don't have to get upset at somebody for it.
It's a very complicated problem.
And I hope this will lead to some change.
I hope so too. Like it's getting big, and teachers are now getting more involved, not just with gun shootings, but like their pay raises and stuff. And if we're seeing more teacher involvement and with the government and walkouts and walk-ins and all that kind of stuff, hopefully that'll transfer over to more gun control stuff too.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And I think it's cool how some teachers are getting involved too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just the students anymore. The teachers want to feel safe also. So I think it's really cool how everybody's coming together about this.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's really cool. We're all just a little squad.
Yeah.
Squad goals.
Squad goals, guys.
Squad goals.
I wonder what Uncle Joey would think about this.
Sebastian, okay,
Uncle
all week
Joey?
Sebastian has been telling me that he thinks Joe Biden's going to be on our podcast.
Yep.
Joe.
But that's not going to happen, Sebastian.
Uncle Joe, Mr. Joe Biden, Mr. Vice President, love
shoot
of
down his-
our lives. Please come on the podcast and we can talk to you about this
I
stuff.
have to crush this dream of yours.
Don't crush his dreams.
See, crush
Let
her
my
dream
boy
of wanting to
live.
crush my dream. And come on, we're here. We're in Knoxville, Tennessee. We'd be happy to have you. We can take
even
you
just
out
call
to
you.
some nice lunch
a
or
little luncheon?
a little luncheon,
Or a
and
brunch?
we can
A brunchin'?
little talking about some gun control in schools and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, not just that, just different political things.
Stealing
Or we
oranges.
can talk about some really funny things too, if you want to, Uncle Joe.
Have you seen Joe Biden? He's a hilarious.
He's amazing.
man.
We can talk about some memes too.
Some memes.
Some memes. Some
Ew, I
memes.
hate
Some
how you
memes.
just called it that. All right, Sebastian, what do you have for us?
Hey, Trump. I'm talking to you, yeah? So this is a statue of Donald Trump, and I found this article on Sky News where he is completely naked.
Oof.
And they're
gosh.
selling this in New Jersey for $30,000.
$30,000.
That's so cheap. I
That's
will buy
amazing.
that.
That's a year of college for me.
It's like, I don't need college. I need this naked Trump statue.
Imagine 2 years from now how much that's going to be worth. I see it as an investment, not only for me to look at and my neighbors to look at, but I can resell it 2 years later.
You put it in the window like in a Christmas story for all the neighbors to see.
Exactly.
And the funniest thing is, it's life-size too. So I wonder if everything's going to be life-sized.
I don't get what you're trying to say
No,
here. I think
PG, Sebastian, PG. Who would make that?
I don't know, but I respect them.
A really
Who wants to
smart
do that
man.
in their free? Probably. Probably.
So this thing is made of clay and silicone, and it weighs up to like 80 pounds.
Oh my gosh. Does
Wow,
it actually,
he's really
does it, like,
light.
does it look like him?
I mean, decently. He looks very happy.
We'll post a picture of the upper half of the statue, not the bottom half.
You said he looks happy?
He looks
He doesn't look
happy.
I think he's a little concerned.
Who got this idea?
I think it looks like he misses Botox
He's
for
like,
the month.
here's an idea. Let me just make a statue of Trump naked. I think this would be really artistic. This will show like abstract qualities, like all of my artistic mind. I feel like that's what.
And then it just got
respect
made
it.
fun of.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so I have another article here
Okay.
from Sky News as well.
Oh.
Two
Thank
in a
you, Sky News.
row.
Sky News is great. So this one is kind of sad for me, and I don't know anybody else who spent their childhood at Blockbuster.
Oh, love that place.
I loved Blockbuster every summer. That was my jam.
It's gone now.
Yeah, so the North Pole branch of Blockbuster is closing.
The what?
The North Pole branch.
The last one, no.
So actually, a little background on the town. It's a town in Alaska, and it's named North Pole because someone named it that because they thought they would.
Oh,
they
that's
get more people to come visit the town and like make toys there and stuff.
that's
But-
actually really funny.
So
Oh my gosh.
so there's like only 6 branches of Blockbuster throughout America now. Only 6.
Really?
It's all
And
gone.
4 of them are in Alaska.
I guess there's nothing much else to do if you live in Alaska in
I
the
guess,
cold.
but-
yeah, Alaska has like bad internet, so
But wait, like, if Blockbuster's out in the North Pole, how's Santa gonna buy movies for all the children?
he probably just rents them. Has to give them back.
Santa rents him. He's like, "Hey, put him back in your stockings, and I'll take him."
He just charges the parents for the renting fee.
This says like all the people in Alaska are like devastated that this Blockbuster is closing and that it was like their childhood home.
It was their
And,
final
like,
hope.
This says 40 people gathered at the store on the first day. Of,
That's the
like,
whole
sales.
population of Alaska, 40 people.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
So, I mean, like, this was like my childhood. I remember going every summer and like renting a
Yeah.
bunch of movies, and like I had like a Blockbuster like summer club
Yeah.
membership, and I would go and rent like all the Harry Potter movies.
It was so much fun, like running in there, and it's like, oh, what movie am I going to find today?
Yeah, it was. And like, I remember just recently, my dad pulled out his old Blockbuster card. I was like, man, the memories. I remember my dad would be looking for movies for us to watch. He'd mainly look for like sci-fi stuff, you know. And I would be at the front checking out all the candy. Now, that's
Yes.
where I was.
Of course you would.
What's that supposed to mean, huh?
It means you need to start eating some more oranges.
Orangutan.
Orangutan.
Oh my gosh. I remember my most traumatic memory of Blockbuster is that my dad rented Jumanji once.
Oh no.
And I was really scared of that. I was like really young, and it was like terrifying, you know, with all the animals and like the lions and
God.
like the boy turns into a monkey.
Lions.
And, it's, like,
And tigers.
tigers and bears.
Oh my!
I remember my dad, he rented the Alien versus Predator movie, and
that's
I
a
could
good
not
one.
sleep for days. I thought something was gonna like pop out of my stomach.
Probably.
Keep in mind, like I was like a lot bigger kid then, so like I was just like, there's something in me, Dad, Dad, get
I
it out.
know. Also, honestly, I think this is one of the kind of things I found really funny about this was that, so, you know, it's in North Pole, and apparently this town of North Pole has Christmas decorations up all year, and they receive like 4,000 letters like addressed to Santa Claus every year, and the community answers them and sends
No
them back.
way.
Yes.
Every letter?
Yeah.
That is the sweetest thing
Why are
ever.
It's really like a nugget thing.
Why are they stealing letters from Santa Claus?
Oh, that's so awful.
Also,
worst.
it says that Santa Claus wrote on his Facebook that he's really sad to see Blockbuster close.
Aww.
That's probably where he got a lot of business from.
He
you know,
did,
the
yeah, he
movies.
was-
That's probably what he did
Get
in
the
his
cheap
free
ones.
time. He'd go rent a movie.
And the $5 box.
Go
That's
rent,
where he went.
Go rent the Santa Claus, and like that's not realistic.
The one with Tim Allen, and he
Yeah,
would send it to people.
he's like, LOL. You think that's what happens?
Write a little note on the disc.
Yeah.
Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Presley.
Hey, Presley.
Hello.
You're on our
my
podcast.
gosh.
Literally headlines. Are you excited?
I am.
Okay, Presley, we're just gonna tell you about some funny little articles. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so this first one is about a man who built his own rocket, a homemade rocket, and shot himself off into the sky so that he could go into space to see if the Earth is flat, because he thinks the Earth is flat. So my question to you is, do you think the Earth is flat?
I don't. But like
you're wrong because it is.
Yeah,
It's clearly he proved it.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, like, this guy's story, it's really convincing. Like, if he put that much effort into building his own rocket and tried so hard to prove his point, I mean, I may be willing to change my opinion.
It must be true.
It's gotta be. Like,
he didn't go that far. He only got like 1,800 feet.
Is he
only
okay?
1,800 feet.
He didn't die, so he must be fine.
He was fine. When he got down, like, the paramedics were ready for him.
Apparently, he just went home and ate dinner with all of his cats.
Yep.
So,
I mean, kind of got you to be friends with.
Yeah, it's kind of got you to be friends with.
Yeah.
You're looking at your future here, Presley.
Oh.
Is that Connor McClure?
Oh, yeah.
It is Connor McClure. Are you
Wow.
surprised?
I was just like, wait a second.
I
Who?
recognize that.
I
That
recognize
deep voice. That terrifying voice. Okay, I have another story for you. And this one reminded me of you because I think it's something that you would do.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So a man that drives Uber drove the Uber car down the stairs and blamed the navigation system.
Woo!
And I think you've probably done something like this.
Oh.
So, Audrey, what I have to like say about this is that you are like 50% right. I have driven downstairs before.
What?
But it wasn't in
I
a
did
car.
not think you actually had.
I actually did this in a four-wheeler.
Oh.
It was not a great choice. It was a long time ago. I was like 11, centuries ago. This was
Centuries
before
ago,
anyone knew what real safety was.
Oh, yeah,
that?
sure, I did.
So, I mean, I'm really glad you thought of me when you heard the story.
What made you want to drive the four-wheel down the stairs, Presley?
Well, I'd ridden a bike down the stairs, and I was like, well, I mean, why not?
It's not the same thing.
I mean, it was a little bit safer, in my opinion.
Going down the stairs?
In the four-wheeler versus the bike.
I can't even walk down the stairs.
If that had entered my mind, like, if I thought about me trying to go downstairs and, like, me face-planting going downstairs, I would, like, have actually used my brain, but I didn't, sadly.
Man, that's unfortunate, Presley.
All right. We're going to do one more article, and this one, I hope you don't get too, like, emotional about this and too depressed.
Okay, let me just grab my comfort stuffed animal. I am ready.
Okay, so, the North Pole branch of Blockbuster is closing. And there are only 6 branches of Blockbuster left in America, and 4 of them are in Alaska.
You're kidding.
No, it's closing.
That's the only Blockbusters I go to.
in the North Pole. Did you ever go to Blockbuster when you were younger?
I did, and we never returned any of the CDs. So we'd get like calls and emails from the people that work there, and they're like, excuse me, but you need to return your CD or you will be fined.
I'm sure Blockbuster still sends those emails.
I'm sure they still get them.
They're still trying.
Every once in a while.
Maybe we can open again.
Maybe we can. If
Like,
Presley
when
just
we give-
pays us back.
When we give CPR to my home phone, because no one uses home phones anymore, we see like 5 messages from Blockbuster. So it's...
What movies did you get from Blockbuster? Do you remember?
I have a couple Harry Potter Blockbuster movies.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh, snap.
I have Blockbuster.
Bringing the gang together.
What else do I have? I have a couple Barbie movies.
You
What?
asked?
Yeah,
Was
my
that your
stuff.
jam?
That was my jam.
Are you saying you rented them or you have them? You bought them?
I rented them, and I'm still renting them to this day 7 years later.
Wow, Presley's the reason Blockbuster went out of business.
Presley, this is your fault. This used to be like $1 million like business.
Well, if I ever run into someone that works at Blockbuster, I will just apologize with all my heart and be like, "Can you accept my apology for the company?"
Like, here, let me give you Barbie Life in the Dream House back. I'm sorry I took this.
It's like, I will just like personally give this to you, so it'll make you feel better. Like, just so they don't know it's not their fault that they closed down.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I'll take all the blame. I'm taking one for the Blockbuster team.
Okay, yeah. Presley. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for being on the podcast.
Thanks for calling me.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So.
Oh yeah. So
Connor has a story for us.
Something funny happened to me this week.
Where'd you get this from? Oh, your life?
This is my life. Yeah.
Life.
It's actually from Sky News, guys. But yeah, it's my life, and it happened this week, and I just thought it was hilarious, and I had to share. So me and my buddy Philip, we were in the bathroom.
Oh, God.
All right. And so all the urinals were full, and usually when I'm in like a stall, he'll bust in on me and freak me out. And so I was washing my hands. I saw him go into a stall, and I thought to myself, oh, I'm gonna bust in on him this time. Well, so I did it, and it wasn't Philip.
You are dumb. This is a terrible idea.
This isn't the rest of the story.
That's so embarrassing.
So the dude, like, on the toilet, like, he wasn't like peeing, he was on the toilet.
He's on the toilet.
And so I'm a big guy. I got some force behind me. So if you go into the bathroom in the foreign language hallway, you'll see one of them with the hinges broken off. So I couldn't close the door back was the problem. So I just had to leave him there.
Was this in school?
This was in school.
No.
So I had to leave the poor kid, probably a freshman. I don't know. I didn't look. I just saw it wasn't Philip, and I tried to fix the door, and I left. I didn't say a word.
Bolted?
I bolted because the door wouldn't go back. It was broken.
It was probably like,
you are so dumb. You are so dumb. I don't understand why you would do this.
That's so mean.
I don't know where Philip was. I didn't know which stall. That's what scares me the most.
Was Philip not in there?
No, he was. He wasn't in the bathroom. I don't think he was. Like, I just had to leave. Like,
you are losing it. He was probably started crying.
He probably like I mean, I imagine so. He was open, stall wide open, just exposed.
Just there.
I feel like a bully now.
You are a bully.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
He's probably traumatized. He's like, this big man tried to...
One of the teachers broke in on me. Oh, man.
Well, you are dumb.
Hey, you know what? Yes.
Yes. Bruh, answer.
Bruh,
this is recorded. Hi, Mary Austin.
Hey, Audrey.
How are you?
I'm doing so good. How are you?
Hey, Mary Austin.
hello.
How are you doing?
I'm so good.
You're
awesome.
on our podcast, Literally Headlines.
Yes!
Are you hyped? Are you
I'm so
hyped for
hyped.
this?
That's awesome.
Okay, are you
I'm
ready?
the most hyped. Yes.
You breathing? Like, you're good? Like, I know this is
I'm
really-
good.
Okay.
You might want to sit down.
Yeah, you might want to, like, breathe in, out. All right, so our friend Connor here, you might know Connor from...
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I do know Connor.
Cool. Okay, Connor has a little story he wants to share with you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, so in Spain, these 4 men were caught. They were pulled over for just a normal traffic stop, and the police found 8,000 pounds of oranges in the back of their vehicles.
What?
Right?
There were 4 cars
4 cars.
filled
It was an
with
orange heist.
oranges.
Just oranges.
Did they steal them?
Yes, it was an orange heist.
The
stole
orange
them.
heist
the
of the
orange
century.
heist. It would all go into
What?
plan until one of them sold them out.
So, Mary Austin, our question to you is, what would you steal 8,000 pounds of?
Oh my gosh. 8,000 pounds of anything I can choose?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with Skittles, honestly.
Oh, yes.
That might not be that much, though.
That's true.
that's
I don't
delicious.
know. But I feel like 8,000 pounds of Skittles, that'd be... Like,
Or
you
maybe
could
it would be a
make-
lot.
You could, like, swim
It's
in that, or at least,
diabetes.
like, walk in it.
Like an ocean.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You
I
could
think
surf it.
Skittles.
Yeah, Skittles. Sour Skittles?
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh,
All kinds of Skittles.
No?
No, don't.
Wait,
don't
what do you think about sour Skittles?
They're pretty good.
Okay.
What's your favorite kind? Do you like are you like an original kind of gal? Or
I
like
like the
the
original.
fruity kind of like
Ooh.
mysterious ones that you like
Yeah.
eat them. You don't know what the flavor is, but you like it anyway.
I like the purple kind.
Sure, definitely.
Oh yeah.
The ones that come in the purple bags, because the normal ones are in the red bags.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. The fruity one. All right, Mary Austin, we have another article for you, and this one.
Okay.
Okay, this one, Sebastian's going to tell you about. Sebastian?
All right. So you know our president, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Yep, heard of them.
He's no Uncle Joe, but
Stop it.
he has recently been modeled in a very realistic sculpture. So the sculpture in New Jersey, this artist in New Jersey is selling a sculpture of him for $30,000, but the catch is he's completely naked.
Oh my gosh.
Would you buy that sculpture?
100% no.
No, it's
What?
an investment though.
Mary
It's an
Austin,
investment.
We have lie detectors set up, and like it's going off like we know you're
Wow.
lying.
Yes,
Mary Austin lying.
it's life size.
I'm gonna have to say no once again.
Are you sure?
You
I
could
am
put it in your
positive.
room. You could show it to your neighbors. You could put it in the church.
You could put it.
I could.
You
I
could put it in the
could do
passenger
that.
side of your car.
Mary
This is-
Austin,
But-
think about when you're older and your kids ask you about like what was it like when you were a teenager. You just whip out this statue and you can show them.
It's worth 30,000. Like
Yeah.
in a few years, it'll be worth $1 million.
It's really not worth it to me if I'm being honest.
But like, imagine instead of buying Christmas trees every year, you can just bring out the statue.
And you can just hang it up on it.
Put a star on top.
It's a family
Put a toupee
tradition
on top.
I'm speechless. Wow. Yeah,
That's
I'm
such
gonna
a
have
good
to
idea.
pass.
Okay, Mary Austin.
Whatever.
So, as you've probably recently heard, the March for Our Lives was this weekend.
Yeah.
Did you participate?
I was not able to go, but I wished
Yeah.
I had.
Yeah, so this matter was like a global thing. You know, it happened everywhere. All around the world, people in like England and Spain and Rome were all, and like Tokyo were all participating in the march
Yeah.
for gun control. What are your thoughts on that and how like this has been such like it's like taken such like a global effect, this march? This,
Yeah, I think it's really cool. It's cool because it shows like how many people are really invested in this issue and how many people really care about it. And it's not just like one town or one state. It's like honestly the whole world that is really focused on that.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. Yeah.
You want to ask her something else?
Sure.
Blockbuster?
You can't ask her about Blockbuster.
All right, Mary Austin, we got one more, and I know that you cry easily, so
Oh no.
Oh, definitely.
yeah, so just brace yourself.
Okay.
This is an emotional one.
All right.
So the North Pole branch of Blockbuster has just closed,
Oh my.
and there are only 6 Blockbusters left in America.
4 of which
Oh,
are
that's
in Alaska.
unfortunate.
Yeah, 4 of which are in Alaska. So, like, did you used to, go to Blockbuster when you were younger?
I do remember, like vaguely, going to Blockbuster.
And like,
But,
the
like-
movie?
Yeah, but I feel like now I just definitely would not do that.
I know you're really lazy. So,
Yeah, that's why.
Don't call her out like that.
are you a Netflix girl? Kind of girl?
I am a Netflix girl.
What are you watching right now?
El Internado.
Okay, this is a Spanish TV show that we have to watch in our Spanish class. The one problem is no one ever knows what's going on because it's in Spanish.
It is so good. Like, it's the best show out there.
I don't understand it, so.
Tell her to tell us what's happening.
I'm on
Like,
season 4.
Wait, what's going on in the episode you're on? You're in season 4?
Yeah,
on
I'm pretty
episode
far.
4 of season 1.
I like
Slacking.
watch it at home
You were a nerd.
all the time.
Invested.
What's going
I'm
on
in
in the
it to win
episode?
it.
Like, what's going on?
Well, it might be a spoiler alert,
Spoilers.
but that's okay.
Okay, just it's fine.
Marcos, his mother that everyone told him was dead, is actually alive, and she's living in the bottom
What?
of the boarding school.
What?
What the? No!
That's insane.
I know.
Marcos
Plot
is
twist.
really hot. He's
Yes.
really
Yes.
hot. He's like, I actually like watching him.
Just the name Marcos just like sounds
Marcos.
so attractive. Some articles.
Okay, one last question before you go. You might not understand this, but has Connor ever like busted into your bathroom stall when you're in the bathroom?
Yeah, has that ever
He has
happened to you?
not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's been known to do that. So watch
Connor?
out.
A few times. Hey, you know what?
Okay.
Okay, Mary Austin, thank you for your
No
input.
problem.
We will see you later.
Okay, see you,
Alligator.
Slater.
Okay, that's her last name. So.
Oh,
Okay, bye,
Good
Mary
call.
Austin.
bye.
Hey, I'm gonna call Chris Blue.
Come on, Chris.
Hello.
Hi, Chris. This is Audrey Jones, Paul's daughter.
Hi, Audrey. How are you?
I'm good. So you're on. I have a podcast, and you're on it right now.
Hello.
nice.
Yeah, this is my friend Sebastian and Connor.
Nice to meet you.
What's up, guys?
Sebastian's very excited.
Yes,
He's a big fan.
I remember I met you one time and I was so starstruck. We were at the movie theater and I was like, "Hey, that's Chris Blue."
Hey.
I never met you, but I've heard the good things.
Hey, man. Hey. First of all, I want to apologize. I'm sure I wasn't looking up to par. My wife and I like to, when we go to the movies, just dress in disguise, and our disguise is pajamas and
Nice.
Too.
and hoodies. So
Hey, well, that's the perfect place to go. Go to the movies, chill, watch a fun movie for a while.
absolutely.
Okay, so we're just gonna ask you a couple questions about some different like news articles. Is that okay?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've heard about the March of Our Lives, the March for Gun Control that's been going on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been having a global effect. It's been going on in like different parts of the world, like in Tokyo, England, Japan, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like, what do you think of like this global like context that this march is like having, this fight for gun control?
You know, I've always been a firm believer in getting to the root of a problem, right? So whenever there's a problem and you need resolve, a lot of times we treat symptoms as opposed to the actual illness, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And guns, per se, can't kill a person without a person killing that person. However, you can flip that because a person, it's harder for them to kill a person without a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
makes
a really
sense.
yeah.
That's very deep.
Right? So it goes both ways. I really feel like if you minimize or limit, the accessibility of guns and, its freedom, I think you will also minimize the high level of crime and death and just murders, that are just kind of happening everywhere. So I'm on board, man. I really believe that, there ought to be stricter laws enforced, and in place concerning this matter.
Yeah, that's really awesome. It's nice that like people of all ages are coming together to
Yeah, like
to
high
realize.
schoolers are leading this kind
Yeah.
of movement.
Yeah. It's insane.
And you know what? That's so key because, like the generation that's in high school right now will be the leaders that will control the movement of our world tomorrow. So the fact that, teenagers and upper teenagers are, I don't even know if I can say that, but, young, like young kids, like you guys and myself.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're
we
all fighting
are
this fight together.
right. We're fighting it together, and we are the leaders who will be running the United States, who will be, in charge of, diplomatic relationships and just different things. Like we will be the ones who paint the picture of life next. And so it's to me, it's refreshing and it's rewarding that, young people are coming together and standing together to do it. And it says more than one thing. It says, one, we want to stop killing. It says, two, we're going to do it. We're going to do this, and we're going to make this happen. And we're going to do it together. So it shows togetherness. It shows unity. And it just shows boldness and a just a stand for what is right, and I support that at all times.
I really like your wisdom on this subject.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing.
Right.
Okay. On this podcast, we also like to talk about some more lighter, interesting sort of headlines that don't get as much.
Some funny headlines.
Don't get as much, appreciation.
Right.
So recently, the North Pole branch of Blockbuster has closed. There are only 6 Blockbusters left. 4 of them are in Alaska. And people are devastated in Alaska that this Blockbuster is closed.
Oof.
So did you ever go to Blockbuster when you were younger?
I did go to Blockbuster. I used to rent all of my video games from Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember
oh
that.
my God. Dude, but I never returned them. Like, I would rack up.
That's the same.
Nobody returns them.
Yeah.
Have another criminal.
I'm not the only one. Okay, good. All right, I don't feel so bad. Yeah, man, I would go rack up movies and video games, but there was another store that I used to go to more than Blockbuster called Hollywood Video.
Oh, yeah.
That's a throwback.
Yes.
That's
That's like
throwback.
before our generation, too.
Right. I think am I showing my age right now? Like, hold up. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, we're pretty young.
I'm like 10, so there's,
A 10-year-old with a full beard.
hey, you know what?
Right.
It's a hormone imbalance. I don't need you to get onto me for it.
Okay, Chris, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Yeah,
we
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Hey, man, no problem. Anything I can do to help out. Thank you guys for having me on Literally Headlines. I literally had a great time.
Yes.
Thank
It was.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
All right, y'all. All right, have a great one.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
We will see you next week. And also, thank you to our friend Connor for
Yes, thank you for
guest
joining us.
starring.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys. This was a
All-star
blast.
guest star.
Yeah.
That's what I named our group chat.
All-star guest star.
I thought it was funny. Nobody mentioned it to me, but I took a long
Hey.
time coming up with that name, so I'm really mad.
Everybody clap.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Give it up to Audrey.
And one last thing, Uncle Joey, if you want to come on,
Uncle Joey.
just follow us on Literally Headlines on Twitter and on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll fire Audrey if we have to get you on here.
Excuse me? All right. Also, send us some articles on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter if you want us to talk about them, and we will. All right.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Stay tuned.
That's all, folks.
You walked in on a kid taking a poop.
I didn't walk in. I broke in.
You barged in.
I barged
Like a
in.
chimpanzee.
He was gone.
It was like, oh no, the smoking chimpanzee is back.
The orangutan.
No.
Help me.
I really hope he listens to this podcast. So he can hear
He's
what
like-
I
We
Yeah.
gotta find him and be like, hey, just listen to the podcast. You'll think it's funny.
I think it's funny.
He's like,
He'd
it's
be like,
not, it's
why?
not funny. It's not.
It's not.
He's like, world news.
He probably dropped
my
out.
stall.
After that, like, ugh.